Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse. Well, I say that was very wrong. Anyways, this is part 3 of our discussion on The Rock. As I said in the last couple of videos, these went way too long, and we thought, hey, let's just split them into 3 parts. So this would be the latter part of The Rock's career, when he probably left and came back and did the Twice in a Lifetime with Jonathan Cena at the Wrestlemanias. And then we got another part later on. We're talking about Dwayne Johnson, like his movies and stuff. And so that's be coming in the future. So I hope you're all looking forward to the WrestleMania 40, where he may or may not portray Roman Reigns and then lead it to whatever. But enjoy this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Well, in the episode you'll hear my voice. So catch you then. That was so silly, wasn't it? We're catching a bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because Stone Cold's injured at this point, isn't it? He comes back shortly after this from
Then when Triple H won the Big Show, the title of the Big Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that Royal Rumble earlier that year, all the way to now. Anyways, Kurt Angle's in the storyline with Stephanie McMahon, where they're kind of in a relationship, or there's a courtship going on.
Yeah.
Triple H is the jealous husband, right?
Yeah.
But it can only go so far because Triple H is not going to land something like a jabroni. Yeah. And then, but they're all feuding for a Rock's title.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam: Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle. Except that Triple H beats up Kurt Angle before the bell, before even Rock comes out. Goes to pedigree him on the table.
The infamous table spot. Yeah.
The table collapses, which KOs Kurt Angle for real.
Legit, yeah.
Well, concussing, whatever. He was out, right?
Yeah.
And Triple H is on top of him going, you're right. You know? It was a complete character break, but you got to be like, serious things happen, you know? But yeah. So then Rock and Triple H, the match basically goes on as it should, because I think that was the part of what they were doing anyways, yeah?
Yeah.
But I think Kurt Angle actually came back during the last third of this match or something like that to continue, and it's like, no, you probably shouldn't have done that.
No.
He shouldn't have continued. They should have got to a certain point with him doing what he needed to do to continue the story, but not actually participating in the match itself.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that wouldn't fly unless it's an AEW.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so as a reward for that, I think that's why they gave Kurt Angle the world title.
Yeah.
Which he won in October.
Yeah.
And kept till February. Well, he won because Rikishi was interfering, and this is where I Did It for The Rock was going on.
Yeah, I did it for The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, or everyone's thinking of the Great White Hope. No, it was like, well, okay, fair enough, Rikishi. I had to do it. I had to do it for The Rock. Where apparently only The Rock's DNA was found in the car that knocked over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And yet somehow Mick Foley, in the same promo, accuses says the culprit is Rikishi. Like, okay, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then Triple H was the mastermind behind the mastermind because Triple H, Like, I don't think people bought Rikishi doing it.
No, because it doesn't make any sense. All along, it made sense for it to be Triple H.
Yeah.
Because,
I
guess. I think they're trying to do a swerve in it and then realize the swerve ain't working, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to our original plan.
This is is this the Survivor Series where Triple H's car got flipped, the car got lifted by a forklift, and it wasn't this one?
Was that? For some reason I thought it was an episode of Raw, but you might be right.
Yeah, I can't remember 100%, right? But it was also kind of funny. If this is the Survivor Series I'm thinking of,
yeah.
Triple H ambushed Steve Austin for some reason in the back, right?
Yeah.
And he's punching him a couple of times, and then he decides to take a swig of water, right? Only to Yeah, and the whole point of them is to get punched in the face so he spits out the water, right? But if you're fighting Steve Austin, why did you take a pause to gulp some water down? It makes no sense.
Like, I'm this parched. I need to stop what I'm doing. Take a swig of water.
Yeah. And then he gets chased out to where he gets put in the car, and then Steve Austin lifts it up with the forklift, and then it drops, and then blatantly, it's like, okay, yes, this is filmed early in the night, it seems, because you have Triple H off, like his sound is sounding nowhere from the car. It doesn't, like, the audio's not there, right? And he's saying, no, Austin, no, don't do it. And then the car flips over, like from the forklift that's been lifted up 20 feet or whatever, right? And it gets crushed. And then miraculously, the next night on Raw, Triple H walks out, like, you know, setting the beating.
Yeah.
But then Stephanie's saying, "Oh, but you know, Hunter did not suffer any major injuries."
Like,
you know,
I'm a young child. Well, I say a young child. I was like a 12-year-old at this point. No, 14-year-old. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, but then you think that, right? But then later on, we'll get to when Rock gets hit when he was in the ambulance, and that was another one which was kind of wacky as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Kurt Angle, Kurt Angle won the title because Rikishi interfered. He was trying to get Kurt Angle, but managed to hit The Rock instead. And then The Rock was, The Rock's obviously infuriated, so he starts making fun of Rikishi and calling him a thumb-wearing fatty and stuff like that, right?
Thumb-wearing fatty, yeah.
But then The Rock makes fun of everyone, so that's how it is.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah, and then he has then was that 6-pack challenge match, right? In the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, Armageddon Hell in the Cell.
Yeah. Where Rikishi got choked. Well, I said quote unquote choked, but more like he fell.
Yes.
He got choke pushed.
Yeah, that's
so.
it.
So, how did they do it? They got a truck out with I think stacks and stuff like that.
The Stooges brought the truck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Briscoe and Patterson. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, they had to line it up perfectly for Rikishi to drop down, and he had to kind of have faith that he wasn't gonna maneuver in certain directions.
Yeah.
But it's like you conveniently brought a truck out with that in the back, so someone could land in it.
Yeah.
But yes, and I think everyone hit their finishers on everyone else at the end.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Angle stole the win.
Yep. Haha, tricky Kurt Angle. Good on you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what happened? What happened at Royal Rumble? This is the Royal Rumble where Triple H was a heel and Kurt Angle was a heel, and then he decided to, it was like, well, okay, well, this makes not quite a lot of sense because one of you should be a face, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, actually no, the Royal Rumble happened before this, right?
Okay. Steve
Austin coming out for the Royal Rumble. Gets randomly attacked by Triple H, and I say it's not really random because later on he will interfere in Triple H's match. So yeah. But yeah, this is where Undertaker and Kane were in the ring. Rock got put through a table by Big Show, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then Steve Austin was coming out and he got beat up by Triple H. So then it was going to be the Brothers of Destruction versus the two biggest stars in the company,
Yeah.
Which would have been something. And yeah, the Rock and Austin facing off during this Royal Rumble as well, which made a lot of sense because you knew where you were building to.
Yeah.
And I don't think that tease would have happened if the Rock didn't have the title.
No.
I mean, sorry, if the Rock did have the title, unless he would have been in a Royal Rumble as the champion. Which has happened before.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was leading to that. And then Rock, even though he lost, he managed to get a title shot before Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Who did win the Rumble.
Yeah, it was that I want to say No Way Out, or whatever it was, the one before WrestleMania. That's where he fights Curtis Angle.
Curtis Anglus, right?
Yes, Curtis Anglus. Yeah.
And Rock Rock bombs Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Kurt Angle does not kick out, and yet the referee counts 2.
Yeah.
So the Rock
was wrong.
Yeah, he gives the dirty eyeball.
Oh yeah, because the referee thought, because he heard there's 2 rock bombs in his match.
Yeah.
And then he forgot the first rock bottom happened. So the Rock
Something like that. I think maybe that was the case.
Yeah.
And the Rock then definitively rock bottom Kurt Angle. Yeah, stared at the referee.
Yeah.
Make the effing count.
Yeah, well, that's a bit mean, but it's not his fault, you know.
Yeah, and and this is also the match where, I mean, this was the pay-per-view where it was the 3 stages of hell match where Steve Austin versus Triple H.
Yeah.
And I remember this because Triple H and Steve Austin were on 1 fall each, and I was like, okay, is this meant to pull Triple H up to Steve Austin's level in the main event ranks? At the end, I think Triple H, Steve Austin there was a Hell in a Cell match, that's the final match. Steve Austin had the barbed wire 2x4.
Yeah.
Triple H had the sledgehammer, and they both hit each other at the same time. And Triple H just happened to fall on top of Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Got the 3 count, right? They're both battered, barely getting up, or after the 3 count, right? Triple H stumbling, and then Steve Austin gives Triple H the Stone Cold Stunner after the match. And like, all right, well,
Yeah.
I mean, he won the match.
Get the heat back.
Yeah, exactly. But then, what was the logic of that? Because Steve Austin needed to go to WrestleMania 17 against The Rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't... Well, okay.
Don't think about it too much.
No, they look... So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They made him look good. They protected him on the... during that match.
Yeah.
But then it didn't make Triple H look like the best coming out of it.
No.
So it was like, why didn't you just have Triple H win it then?
Yeah.
Anyways, then we head to the WrestleMania 17 match with Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes.
And for the amount of build, by the way, that they had during this, for this, because The Rock only won the title like 4 weeks before WrestleMania.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, though, the whole Bray Wyatt Randy Orton thing at WrestleMania 33. It's like he wins out of the Elimination Chamber and then loses at WrestleMania. It's like, what was the point of it?
But this actually, I think at this point, people knew where it was heading.
Yeah.
Since the Royal Rumble, so even though they didn't, the true build for the match didn't happen until later on.
Yeah.
The teasers were happening enough, and there's a decent amount of Rock Steve Austin interaction, even though later on they'd have their own universes.
Yeah.
Parallel to each other, even though they were in the same company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So WrestleMania 17, great match. Where Steve Austin had to batter The Rock with chairs to what? How many chair shots was that?
I want to say 19, but it wasn't. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which made perfect sense because it's like Stunner didn't be kicked out, right? I think they had two stunners during the match or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? I'll just murder him.
Yeah, and it kind of goes with him becoming a heel,
Yeah. Even though the crowd wasn't 100% buying it because they were in Texas.
Yeah. Weird place to do the heel turn, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually cheered Steve Austin because he's from Texas.
So it's like...
yeah.
Chose the kind of wrong place to do the heel turn.
And, so I think The Rock had a title rematch against Steve Austin in a steel cage where Triple H came out. What was his beef at that point?
I don't know.
Because he was kind of pretending to turn... He wasn't pretending to turn face at this point, right?
Yeah.
But he came out and you thought he was going to help The Rock.
Yeah.
He actually took off his leather jacket that he threw to the ground, right? In front of himself, so his feet nearly got tied up and nearly tripped over, right?
Yep.
But he came in the Hell in a Cell match, and you're thinking he's going to attack Steve Austin, except no, he attacks The Rock.
Yeah.
helps McMahon and Steve Austin, even though Steve Austin tried to murder him like 6 months ago.
Yeah, but
Wrestling, right?
Bridge,
This is the same company and universe where Triple H had a Survivor Series match way later on in the years with several people who tried to kill, like Jeff Hardy, Kane, Rey Mysterio, I think, and they were all calling him out on the bad stuff he did, and Triple H was like, "Oh yeah, my bad."
Yeah.
Like, all right.
But it's wrestling. None of it's meant to make sense.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse. But yeah, it's always some of like blood feuds people had, and then they become like partners. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But sure.
So yeah, Rock got removed from the 2-man power trip storyline because he was filming Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Now, do we talk about? You know what? We've already mentioned it. What do you think of Scorpion King?
It was okay for the time.
Yeah. I was, yeah. Now, that was because of his appearance in The Mummy 2, The Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
Which then CGI at the end was terrible.
Yeah,
but whatever, right?
Yeah.
As an action adventure film, The Scorpion King was fine. Did you watch any of the sequels, by the way?
No, didn't bother.
I saw Scorpion King 2. Scorpion King 2 with they had someone else playing the young Matthias.
Yeah.
And they ran out of budget at the end because he had to fight an invisible spider.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like, all right. Well, when you got no money, okay, fighting invisible whatever is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, but still, that's okay. That's I don't know what to say. That's
now let me ask you: how many Scorpion King films do you think there are?
Honestly, there's 4.
There's 5.
It's 5.
There's 5. Yeah, and not including The Mummy Returns, which is not a Scorpion King film.
No. Wow.
But yeah,
there's 5. Good on them for milking that. Good on them.
Yeah, I'm sure the quality just dips.
Yeah, of course. I know Randy Couture's in one of them, but I can't remember which one it is.
Was he? Yeah. Whatever, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, jeez. Okay. But yes. So yeah, Rock went off to Hollywood.
Yep. He did.
Came back in the invasion. Made Booker T look like a jabroni.
Yep.
Which then helped Booker T because he already got made look like a jabroni from Steve Austin as well.
Yeah.
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 Won the WCW title off Booker T.
Yes, for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. And then beat Booker T and Shane McMahon in a 2-on-1 match.
Yep.
At SummerSlam, which certainly did not help either of them. Because the way WCW is being booked already, it wasn't helpful.
No.
Yeah. And I think to help further things along, to make Booker T and Shane not look like complete jabronis, they turned on Shane decided to try and win the title for himself, but without completely turning on Book. So yeah. And there was one segment where they were having an argument of which is the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. Was it the spinner Rooney or the pupil's elbow?
Yeah.
And then is the rock bomb and the bookend the same move, right?
Yeah.
And I will say that I believe Booker T stole the bookend from the Rock.
No, he did, but
because he used it after the Rock used it, and the Booker T's finisher was not that before.
No, but
and
because this is when even they try to make the Booker T a lot like the Rock in WCW at this point as well.
Yeah. in separate companies, fine, but really should not have used the rock bomb / bookend maneuver because it was way too close.
Yeah.
As to what the Rock was using.
Even though my personal opinion, the bookend's better, but yeah.
Well, I think the bookend he goes on his knees, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the rock goes flat.
Yeah, which is kind of.
But so Booker T bookended the Rock through the tables, and I think when one of the next nights on Raw, whatever it is, Shane McMahon gave Book Booker T bookends made from the table that he bookended the Rock.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
all right, you know.
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, after that, I think the Rock was feuding with Chris Jericho, even though they're supposed to be on the same side, and there's still the invasion going on.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this. I was like, stories within stories. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could have had this could have been an invasion story.
Yeah.
In fact, I know they didn't want to acknowledge it, but Steve Austin could have been like, I'm originally from WCW because I'm the stunning Steve Austin, but they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It would have given them more logic to join WCW.
Yeah.
Even though, Bishop fired him and stuff like that. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
WWE gonna not acknowledge it because they don't want to say the biggest star in the industry was from the competition.
Yeah.
Anyways,
then his reason for joining the alliance made sense anyway.
Yeah.
Because he was jealous that Vince McMahon was giving more attention to someone else. Yeah.
Yes. So The Rock and Chris Jericho feuding independently of them feuding with the Invasion as well.
Yeah.
And this is where, I mean, look, like I said before, I wasn't a huge Rock fan at this point. I was more of a Chris Jericho fan. So when Rock is just blazing people and he's just saying to Chris Jericho, well, Chris Jericho, there's a reason you have not won the big one. It's because simply you are not that good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oof. But then Chris Jericho did the thing where, you know how The Rock puts his palm on everyone's face?
Yeah.
And then he's like, just bring it.
Yeah.
Rock was going to say some more. Jericho palmed him in the face. Rock took off his sunglasses, even though it's probably an inch between where, Jericho's hand and The Rock's face. He somehow managed to take his sunglasses off. Took them off. Sidestepped the palm.
Yeah.
Because he can't believe what's happening. He's like, the way he looked at the Jericho's like, what? You sidestepped it.
Yeah.
Go to say something else. Chris Jericho moves his hand in front of The Rock's face again. Turns his hand around. Just bring it. And then he gets rock bombed because it's going to be The Rock. So they had a WCW title match at a WWF pay-per-view, which not even competitors from WCW either.
Yeah.
Well, on the Alliance, anyways.
Yeah.
Jericho won with a skull crushing finale, aka the breakdown, on a chair, because Stephanie McMahon tried to interfere because she was having beef with the Jericho.
Yeah.
So she tried to make Jericho lose, but instead caused The Rock to lose. Rock took a finisher on the chair. Jericho got the pin. And then Rock was able to hold Jericho's hands up, raise his hands as a champ. I was like, okay, shouldn't you be setting your head a bit more because you took a face block on the chair? But anyways, and then they won the tag team titles off the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Only to lose the titles to Booker T and Test.
Yeah.
Not long after that.
Yep.
And then I think Jericho's trying to be the leader of the Alliance.
Yeah.
Because he's the champion. And The Rock just usurps him. Rock don't care. Well, I don't even know why Rock would care about the dressing room, But whatever, okay. He certainly just cares about himself. That's his character.
Yeah.
Or he cares enough to put down someone else. Because that's The Rock.
Yeah.
And so Rock and Jericho have a rematch for Jericho's World Championship WCW title on Raw, which I have to give to The Rock, As good as the first No Mercy match was, and I really liked it, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought it made Jericho look good as well. Not the definitively at the end where how he won the title, but Rock treated him like an equal.
Yeah.
Here, where Rock was going to win, Rock won the title off Jericho, but even though Jericho was going to lose the match, Rock made Jericho look so good here. Like, Jericho was dominating most of the match. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
As the second biggest babyface of at the company at that point, Rock knew, Rock, number one babyface. He knew that he gave Jericho enough to make Jericho look like, this guy's definitively number two.
He can be next. Yeah. He's next in line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he had to go. I think Jericho had I think the match went slightly long, so Raw was going to cut off or whatever like that. So they had to quickly scramble to get to the point where they needed to do for the finish.
Yeah.
Really kind of quickly. But hey, and Rock didn't pin him like with a finish or anything. It was a roll up pin or something straightforward like that. And it's like, oh yeah, actually, fair enough. Jericho needs to look good. Except obviously when they were, so Rock had to come into Survivor Series with the title because Steve Austin was with the WCW title because Steve Austin had the WWF title and he was on the Alliance side.
Yeah, and so basically he kept the title. So, because remember the whole point of the match where the Alliance win. If the WWF beats the Alliance, the WCW people get fired. But if then unless they're champs and they still fine.
Yeah, or you won the Immunity Battle Royal, which Tess wasn't even a part of, but he still managed to win it.
Yeah, he just come in and like, I'm winning this, and
yeah. Even though he lost it to Edge earlier.
Yeah, for the US title, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you had the Survivor Series match, which on the WCW side, somehow there was Shane McMahon, Big Show. No, hold on. Wait. No. Sorry. No, I'm thinking of the another match where the Big Show wasn't. Anyways, Big Show was in this match. He just wasn't in light side. So WWF side was The Rock, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show.
Yeah.
Now Big Show's WCW, so maybe it made more sense to be on the other side, and Chris Jericho maybe as well. But whatever, right? The Alliance
because of how they both left WCW. I think that's why they didn't bother do it.
Oh no, yeah, but I'm just pointing out the amount of the Alliance has Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is maybe a WWF guy, right?
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam and Booker T, right? Then you had Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon, which aren't WWF guys, but whatever. I mean, aren't WCW guys, but whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the Jericho. So the last couple of people in the ring was Jericho, Steve Austin, and The Rock, and I think Jericho got eliminated somehow. And he didn't like how he got eliminated, so he gave The Rock a breakdown, so he was turning heel. Yeah. But then Kurt Angle came in to interfere because it was a double mold for the Alliance after all, and hit Steve Austin. Yeah. What did he hit with the title? Yeah. And then Rock bottom Steve Austin and pinned him. Yeah. Which I would say is probably the first win that The Rock's got over Steve Austin. As a pinfall. Yeah.
That is true.
So when So this is the end of 2001. Yeah. So then we're going to what's the last pay-per-view of 2000? Was it Armageddon? No. Was it? I think it is, right?
Vengeance.
Is it Vengeance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it was four wrestlers, 3 matches, 2 championships, 2 world titles, 1 undisputed champion or something like that. That's how they were playing it, right? Mm. Yeah. So it was Rock versus Chris Jericho and Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And then the winners, have to go into the final match.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle versus Steve Austin took place earlier in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then Jericho, turning heel, somehow is depowered. So he's fighting The Rock, but, obviously he has to have interference by Vince McMahon. He low-blowed The Rock and then Rock bottomed The Rock and got the win. Won the not the WCW title at that point, the World Championship.
Yep.
The WC title.
Yep.
And then his match against Steve Austin happened straight afterwards.
Yeah.
Wow. Am I supposed to? Is he meant to be the sympathetic face here? Because he's going to get battered, and he already had a match lasted 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, where you going? Where you going with this?
Nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Then okay. Then what happened to The Rock between all of this?
No. Wait. during that match, or
No, as in what happened next with The Rock? That's it. So Jericho wins the titles. Made it look like a jabroni by Steve Austin because Booker T had to hit Steve Austin over the head with the titles to help Jericho win.
Is it?
I think so, right?
I don't think so. I think Jericho. I know Jericho cheated to win.
Yeah.
And then, because after this, The Rock and Jericho have a match at Royal Rumble for the Undisputed title.
Yeah. So, but just before this, I think after Jericho won the title, he had this steel cage match against Steve Austin on one of the Raws, which then he got battered as well through that. And then that's why I think Booker T helped him win as well. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, right? But yes, like you're saying, Jericho.
Oh yeah. Booker T come in. Yeah. Booker T helped Jericho win.
Yeah.
Against The Rock at not The Rock, sorry, Austin at Vengeance. Yeah. And that's what leads to the figure match. Yeah.
So then Rock had a world title, undisputed title match against Chris Jericho, which I remember I remember bits of what happened in this match. Jericho cheated several times to get the pin. You know how usually you can low blow someone, or you roll up pin, or you hold the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Or you grab the trunks, yeah?
Yeah.
One of those things, you, as a heel, you do, and you can win the match, yeah? Jericho did all three of them.
He's a super heel, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't defeat The Rock at all. You had to use okay, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because the NWO came next. Jericho's next title defense was at No Way Out.
Yeah.
Which Jericho got battered by Steve Austin again, and then the NWO helped him and say, "Oh, Jericho, your title reign is not making you look good whatsoever. They're booking you terribly." Anyways, The Rock had the match against The Undertaker at this pay-per-view. But yeah, I think it all got sidetracked because it was going to be Rock versus Hogan. At WrestleMania, which they were leading to, which okay, fine, the two biggest icons in the industry, the past and present.
Yeah.
And Steve Austin as well, because he's the at this point I would say he's bigger than both of them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the Rocket and Steve Austin are close to level. Hogan was above them at some point.
Yeah, because of.
But then he's now within their tier.
Yeah.
And this is where the NWO beat up The Rock, threw him in an ambulance.
Yep.
Right. Crashed the truck in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Looked in the back window and like, oh, jeez, we basically murdered a geezer, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But we've seen it all on television. But alright, sure.
Yeah. And not only that, then The Rock comes back the next Raw or whatever, basically with no injuries, like healing faster than Triple H did. Amazing. But this is where you got the NWO as well versus Rock and Steve Austin, which, as far as the match goes, I think is really entertaining. It's not great, work rate, but star power.
Yeah.
And for Steve Austin just going after Hogan, and Rock knew his job. He knew that he needed to get pinged by the leg drop, and he sold that leg drop like it was something that was going to actually can get a pinfall.
Yeah.
And then you got into the Rock versus Hogan match, Icon versus Icon, which I think we reviewed it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Where you're like, come on, the combined wrestling ability of these two guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow the match was amazing.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is. Like one person is super limited, but they've managed to put on like a really great match. It was like
I would say maybe if you combine both of them, they have the wrestling ability of Bret Hart. Yeah. However, when you're talking about all the other stuff that is not just pure wrestling based in ring stuff, that's what made it more. These guys can do, because they're between their charisma, between their their selling ability are more like The Rock's athleticism and stuff like that. But it's just like who they are and how captivating what they do is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then then Hogan setting his ribs through the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not through the match, but towards the end of it. And then they had to go and turn Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that The Rock decided to tweak his wrestling style and persona within the match, because I think they choreographed it like he was going to be Hogan was going to be the despicable heel, and Rock was going to be the pure babyface.
Yeah, and that's.
But because of crowd reactions, they readjusted a little bit, and Rock went heel-ish, and Hogan sold as a face, but they still aligned it in a way that it wasn't a double turn, but it was just like full sense of the character.
Yeah.
So good, it's like, wow, that's good on them, just making a call in the ring and both knew what to do.
It was great.
Yeah. What's this? Yeah. Yeah. And then then I think the next thing that happened, so Jericho loses the title to Triple H.
Yeah.
Triple H next month loses the title to Hogan. Right?
Yeah.
Hogan loses the title to Undertaker.
Yeah.
With a chokeslam, that's not really a chokeslam.
No,
because Hogan did not.
I'm gliding you slowly to the floor as you fall. Yeah.
And then Rock wins the title off Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Rock is going to defend the title against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Who Brock Lesnar murders Hulk Hogan like the week before the SummerSlam match. Yeah. Like legit murders him. Like,
now, did you have to have so many title changes to get to this point? But whatever, right?
Yeah, whatever. It was cool.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Yeah. I think like another way to work it was if, like you're saying, Hogan won the title of Triple H. He didn't really need to win the title of Triple H, right? Actually, Triple H's face could have just probably lost to Brock. But if you were going to go to put Brock over, you could have just had him. It's like, as Hogan was the champion, just murder Hogan.
Yeah.
Like they did. But I guess as from a actual in-ring quality standpoint, you do want someone like The Rock versus Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock on his mega push and Rock slowly fading out because he's going to go Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, because I think he had another film, innit? That's why he...
Yeah. But I like this match. The match was pretty good, but I think the crowd was turning on The Rock and they were chanting Brocky.
Yeah. Brocky.
Mm-hmm. And I think Brock was in danger at one point where I think he was getting put in the sharpshooter and he looked like he was going to not tap out or anything, but Paul Heyman had to come and interfere, and then I think Rock bombed Paul Heyman through the table, and then Brock won off that.
Yeah.
Brock getting his title match, by the way, by winning King of the Ring, which I think that's where they should keep going. If you win King of the Ring, you probably should get a title match at SummerSlam.
It's one of those things they use when they want to, when it's plot convenient. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But so I think when I was watching anyways, I was like, Rock was getting overexposed to me at this point, so I can understand why he was getting the boos.
Yeah.
But I think people were booing as well because he was going to leave to go Hollywood.
Yeah, because wrestling fans are silly like that.
Yeah. But when Rock returns the next year, he'll come as the peak version of The Rock.
Yep, Hollywood Rock.
Rock,
the best.
Yeah. This Rock, I was full behind when he came back. I was like, he was just being. He didn't care. As in, make fun of everyone. You don't know the consequences, whatever the consequences.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Dwayne Johnson didn't care. The Rock's character didn't care.
Yeah. He just so self-absorbed. It was the best.
Yeah. So he was going to have he decided he was just going to feud with Hogan right away as soon as he come back, because that's what The Rock does, right? And then he was cutting a promo on Hogan saying, Hogan, you speak to The Rock like you're somebody. You're nobody. What have you done? You're nothing. Who are you? Whatever, man. Like, he chatting so much rubbish because Hogan did a lot for the wrestling from that standpoint, right?
Yeah.
If Hogan was a genuine nobody, it would have. If it was a Billy Gunn at that point, It would have genuinely killed him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rock can say that to Hogan and it's fine. And then they were having the match where it was heel Hollywood Rock versus not Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
Which, oh my goodness, right? As good as their match was at WrestleMania 18, this went in the other direction.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, and then the Rock was gonna get pinned or something like that. And the lights went out.
Yeah.
With no explanation. And then Rock bottom. I believe it was rock bottom, right? Where that's how he beats Hogan. But then again, Rock needed to win to go into WrestleMania against Steve Austin. So yeah. But this was between that though, and between the Hogan match and the WrestleMania match with Steve Austin, while he was building, he was feuding with the Hurricane.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
Where he was mocking Hurricane for being a superhero, and then Hurricane was like, "Is the Scorpion King a superhero? Can the Scorpion King fly?" And then Rock's like, "Yeah, of course. You hamburglar, of course. You've been smoking those funny cigarettes.
Yeah.
Of course the Scorpion can fly. Of course Rock can fly." He goes, and then Hurricane goes, "Great, because then you'll fly out of the ring when I throw you over in a battle royale." And then he flies off.
Yeah.
And Rock sells it like he actually is flying into the sky. Like, Rock, right? You're putting the guy over, but you're having fun doing it. So it's like, it's not super serious, and that you're going to help this guy in this feud, even though you're a megastar, so it doesn't hurt you whatsoever to be associated with him.
That was good.
But yes, I think this is where Hurricane actually gets thrown over in a battle royal.
Yeah.
Then Booker T throws Rock out of the battle royal. And then Rock and Hurricane continue their feud because The Rock was in one of the dressing rooms. Hurricane was also in the dressing room.
Yeah.
So Rock pulls one of the curtains of the cabinets of the dressing room, and the Hurricane's just in that space, crouching. And Rock's like, "What? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Were you watching The Rock getting out of the shower? What kind of pervert are you, right?" And then this is where, by the way, call back to the intro, where Hurricane is saying, "Yep, Rock, I saw you come out of the shower, and I saw the Scorpion King got a tiny ding-a-ling."
Oh.
Yeah. And then The Rock pats his thigh and goes, "No, whoa, big boy. Whoa, big boy." All right. I think it's as well. I'm not sure if it's the exact same promo, or one of the other ones afterwards, where Rock was blazing Hurricane, and then he was like, "What can you do? You know nothing. You know nobody." And then then Rock pretends his phone ringing and he goes, hold on a second, jabroni. Rock's phone's ringing. Hello, oh. And then he gives the phone to the Hurricane and goes, it's nobody. He says he knows you. And then obviously the people laugh and Hurricane sells. And Rock's like, "Don't laugh at the Rock's jokes." All right, to the people. But then Hurricane Shane Helms was actually saying in one of the interviews that he came up with that and he told The Rock to do that. Yeah. And it was like, you know what, it didn't matter for him to look bad. It's just like actually funny. It's a funny thing. Why not do it? Yeah. He was also saying, by the way, that they wanted to pre-record the segments. Yeah. But The Rock didn't want to do that. He kept on dodging them. Yeah. And Hurricane was trying to find out, like, The Rock was like, "Why are you doing that? What's going on?" And he goes, and Rock's like, "When it's live, they can't cut our time." And then Hurricane's like, "Oh yeah, okay, fair enough." He's like, "Well, he's The Rock. He could do anything, right? I mean, I'm just a passenger here. Yeah, I ain't gonna get the blame for nothing. He's the one doing it."
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Hurricane had the match with The Rock, the mini feud they were building, when Rock wasn't taking the match seriously, and he took a choke slam from Hurricane as well. He sold it. He kicked out, and then he started taking the match more serious. and then Steve Austin's music played, and Hurricane got a roll-up pin off that.
Yeah.
And then Hurricane decided to run to the back.
Yeah.
And instead of like, I think Steve Austin tapped on the arm as he was passing by because I think he was just wanting to raise his arm and stuff like that, just like taunting The Rock a bit more.
Yeah.
But Hurricane Helms said that they told him to get out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they meant get out of the ring.
Yeah.
Or get out of the segment, but he just blazed to the back because that's what he was told.
Hey man, company man, do what he's saying.
Yeah, he was like, I should have just stayed there for The Rock, for Steve Austin to, do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, now we're going to WrestleMania 19.
Yes.
Rock versus Hogan. What are we talking about? Rock versus Steve Austin. No one cares about Act 1 or Act 2. People remember Act 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Rock is going to be the first time The Rock beats that bald-headed jabroni candy ass one-on-one at WrestleMania. And I'm like, Rock, you've never beat this guy one-on-one.
Like, I don't see this happening.
Yeah. No, it's that. It's just like, fair enough, you tried to point out specific at WrestleMania, but at no time have you ever actually beaten Steve Austin one-on-one.
Yeah.
Either. Non-WrestleMania matches,
So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But yes, I enjoyed this match. It was fun.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't a technical spectacle, right?
No.
But it was enjoyable.
And I really didn't see that. I legit thought The Rock was gonna lose, so I was kind of shocked. Like, oh, okay.
Well, when you're thinking Steve Austin's going to retire.
Yeah, but
to
I
be
didn't
fair
know
as
at
well.
that point,
To be fair, The Rock was going to Hollywood, so he could have lost and left as well. So it was not like, by the way, a Brock Goldberg situation where you didn't care who won.
Yeah,
and it didn't matter.
Because I didn't I didn't know Stone Cold was retiring, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But also the other thing is where Rock's working on Steve Austin's legs through the entire match, yet somehow
been to a stunner. I mean, Rock.
yeah. Like, okay, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question it.
But yeah, Rock won this match with 3 Rock Bottoms.
Yep.
And then he hosted during this WrestleMania. Goldberg promo played 2 years in exile or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Rock Appreciation Night on Raw. People are cheering Goldberg, and then Rock tried to. He was like, "Don't." Why are you people cheering for the Rock's accountant, Ira Goldberg?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
On the ball, I like that.
Yeah. Then Goldberg came and speared the Rock. He goes, "Guess what, Rock? You're next."
Yeah.
And then I think the next night, the next couple of weeks, Rock was making fun of Goldberg using Gilberg, and then Rock ain't next. You're next, you whisker biscuit bitch. You bald-headed whisker biscuit bitch, or whatever he's saying, right? Yeah. But yeah, he was battering Goldberg with chairs and stuff like that. So fair enough. Goldberg didn't look the greatest during the build, but he was going to get the win, and he was going to get a definitive win off the Rock. So I don't think it would matter to Goldberg.
Yeah. It wouldn't have. No.
I do remember that Gilberg, he was like, oh yeah, he was singing a song for Gilberg to pretend to be Goldberg and saying, your mama's a tramp, your daddy's a hoe. Yeah. And Gilberg stopped, and he goes, Gilberg, continue to dance or something like that. And I think that's when Goldberg come out.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg speared Gilberg and, jackhammered him and made him look as jabroni. And Rock ran off because, he's heel Rock, right? But then he came back with a chair to hit Goldberg some more because, that's
what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hollywood Rock. Yeah. Then he got beat by Goldberg.
Yep.
Which is not a spectacular match.
No.
But
it wasn't a match.
But the guy who was going to be with the company was made to get over and look pretty dominant at that. So yeah. And like I said, The Rock, he sells. He'll be over the top. He as the character, he doesn't care. As Dwayne Johnson's like, yeah, I'll do the job that I'm paid to do.
Yeah.
And I'll do it good. I'll make sure the people, the fans watching are enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then I think after that he disappeared for a long while until the next year almost.
Was it to the next year?
Yeah, because I think he.
Oh yeah,
The Rock
because
and
at
Soul Connection-
WrestleMania, him and because this is where you film like Walk and Tour and all that. Then it was him and Foley at WrestleMania 20 against Evolution.
Yeah.
Well,
and this is where I would say Rock's character is like Dwayne Johnson Rock, like, you know.
Yeah.
So people are glad to see him back.
Yeah.
But they know that, you know, it's going to be far and few between it for him actually having appearances. Yeah. The match against Evolution, I thought was pretty funny because, like, it's a pretty cool match. Ric Flair and The Rock having the time of their lives, just having a joking around during the match, not making a joke of the match, but they just being hammy and stuff like that. Rock doing the strut while he's doing the people's elbow and stuff like that. It's like, you know, you get what you pay for. People, you know, the fans are enjoying it. The people in the match are having fun. Yeah.
It's WrestleMania, you know.
Yeah. WrestleMania, baby.
WrestleMania 20 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And then, when was the next time he made an appearance?
He appeared sometime during like Diva Search, and there's like random spontaneous appearances.
Yeah. But I would say then nothing major until his feud with Cena. The build to the feud with Cena.
Yeah.
Where Cena the Miz, right? For the world title. Miz getting concussed.
Yep.
Rock bottom of Cena, and then putting the Miz on top of it, and then counting it.
Yeah.
And then basically from that WrestleMania to the next WrestleMania, it was the build for John Cena versus the Rock.
Yeah.
Where John Cena was cussing the Rock for going to Hollywood, and then Cena, you are also, you know, look, you need to do what you need to do to take care of your body. Yeah. So, I think though obviously Cena was told to say what he was going to say because they wanted to kind of split the crowd reaction.
Yeah. But because the only thing I can sort of see of it as well, like I know they like before this they actually did have a legit beef, but some of it. I reckon was him being told what to do. Cena, some of it was him thinking, "Hey, what are they gonna do? Fire me?" No.
Yeah. So
like the whole the one that we kind of spoke about before when Cena made The Rock cry with the.
Wait. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I wouldn't say. I think you're exaggerating the circumstances, but. Yeah,
because I think by then The Rock's ego was too big, and that's why when John Cena said that thing, he got super pissed.
Yeah, but then again, like when you can say things you can get away with it, because Cena being the top star at that point, and Rock being the part-time, like, you can be less when you're the guy that the company's going to protect. You can be less careful what you say. Well, no, you're not that you should be, but you can be less careful what you're saying to the other person. You know, because they're not how much are they going to punish you. Let me put it this way, right? There's a reason why coked up Shawn Michaels was still champion for an extended period of time. During 1996.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But yes, and I think this is where, so The Rock would be here and there to build for his match twice in a lifetime, anyways. But once in a lifetime match with John Cena, and they would team at Survivor Series, against Awesome Truth, which is the Miz and R-Truth. And you're like, but Miz and R-Truth, you look like complete jabronis.
Yeah.
So I don't think Rock and Cena, you guys are not competition against Rock and Cena. So we both know who's going to win. Yeah. It's just whether Rock and Cena turn on each other before the match, during the match, or after the match.
Yeah.
Which they never did turn on each other, so...
No.
Yeah.
Which was a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, no, sorry. They did. The Rock pinned The Miz with Rock Bottom because,
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah, he's the Miz, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but to be fair, pinning the Miz for him makes more sense than randomly pinning R-Truth because at least the Miz was champion.
Yeah,
and that had something to do with
he was part of their story sort of at one point. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
and then then Rock Bottom John Cena, and then they had the promo battles to lead to the once in a lifetime WrestleMania match where Rock beat John Cena. Now, what do you think of the quality of the match itself?
it was okay.
Yeah, I'd say the audience helped carry the match.
Yeah.
Better than it actually was when you look at it from a in-ring standpoint.
Yeah.
Not the same. Well, yeah, a bit like the same as to when it was Rock and Hogan, except here, Rock was much bigger and his cardio was less less lengthy.
Yeah, it wasn't. His cardio wasn't on the level of Cena's cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was this match or the rematch at the next WrestleMania where John Cena had to do a lot of bear hugs.
Yeah, because The Rock tore his pectoral.
Oh yeah, so that must be the rematch. But yeah, Rock won the once in a lifetime, and I was like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Except that then Rock somehow got a match against CM Punk.
Oh, because at Raw, it was because at Raw 1000.
Oh yes.
CM Punk was having a match with, I think, Daniel Bryan and someone else, something, and then The Rock come out to help CM Punk, and then CM Punk turned on The Rock, and his reason was that The Rock was stealing the spotlight from him. I was like, okay, that does make sense, which turned CM Punk heel. Yeah,
of course he had to. He had to.
And then
that was at July, and then they actually they feuded in earnest 6 months later.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Where Rock beat CM Punk.
Yeah, at the Raw.
Actually, no. The Shield turned out the lights.
Yeah.
And powerbombed the Rock through a table.
Yeah.
It was gonna get. It was counted out, or they were gonna strip CM Punk of the title, or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Rock got Mike said, no. You ain't. You guys ain't gonna strip that. You ain't gonna win the title for the Rock. The Rock's gonna pin that jabroni himself.
Yeah.
The Rock will win the title for the Rock.
Yeah. So then the match carries on.
Yeah.
Rock beats CM Punk with a people's elbow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think then it was detrimental to CM Punk. And I don't think Rock quite looked at CM Punk's level as well. Though the promo styles were starkly different, but worked because CM Punk's like, "This ain't a playground.
No,
I'm deadly serious to you.
Yeah,
your hands are too short to box with God."
Yeah, one of the best lines CM Punk's ever done.
Yeah,
and then,
it's not like the smirking John Cena promos where as well they're trying to outdo each other. It's like, no, this is serious.
Yeah,
I ain't funning around. But yes, and then I can see why, by the way, CM Punk was getting agitated during this time because he had a rematch with The Rock, which he also loses.
Yeah.
And then he would lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it's like, why am I always losing to these part-timers,
Yeah. But hindsight is a thing, but yeah.
Yeah, because he's a difficult person as well. But,
yeah. I'm saying, like, hindsight's a hell of a thing, but yeah.
So then it'll be twice in the lifetime WWE title match, Rock versus John Cena.
Yeah.
Which Cena then wins because how can he lose twice at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but I prefer this match to the other one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think
because I prefer the finish to this one.
Okay.
Because of like how Cena learnt from the mistake of the last one. He got too cocky.
Yeah. I would say the previous ones, ring quality was better only because though, I think this had more to do with Rock actually tearing his abdominals or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it kind of they had to do certain things.
Yeah.
and they still had another 20 minutes left or something like that. I don't think Rock should have been put on extended lengthy matches at this point, anyways, right?
Yeah.
It was just like long for the sake of being long. It didn't need to be. But yes, yeah. So yeah, and then that's yeah.
Cause I like I said, I like the finish where the Rock, where like the year before when the Rock, I mean Cena got cocky and tried to go for the people's elbow, and the Rock just kipped up, caught him, rock bottom. And I like how he went to do the same thing to this time, and the Rock kipped up, and Cena already knew he was going to do that, so he was waiting. The Rock like,
Yeah, you can't see me.
Yeah, you thought you outsmart me, but I outsmart you because I John Cena.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. So I would say that's probably the last act. Was that the last actual match of The Rock's career? Because
well, if you include WrestleMania 32, where he rock bottomed,
which we'll get to that in a second. But yes, as far as a proper match is concerned, this is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, because he just has between now and then he just has spontaneous like appearances, like at Royal Rumble 2015, where he comes out and helps Roman.
Yeah, where they made fun of so Rock, Steve Austin, and Hogan were hyping up WrestleMania.
Yeah, yep.
And Hogan actually said the Silver Dome.
Yep.
And then Rock and Steve Austin made fun of him, the Superdome and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Hogan's like, oh yeah, it was just because I was thinking of when I slammed Hogan in front of 80,000 people and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways. And then Rock would, like, okay, I don't remember the timelines exactly, just remember Rock making appearances and making fun of people, right?
Yeah.
Calling Lana, like, talking about, so Lana's with Rusev at this point.
Yeah.
And Rock's like talking about, oh yeah, Lana, how, we had them fun times at special yoga positions you were teaching the Rock and stuff like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah. And then Rusev appears and he goes, oh, Rusev, you got a very fine wife here. Yeah.
It's like, that's so weird.
Well, it's The Rock. He was saying
still like, we all know in real life they're married. That's a weird sort of thing to do, but all right, sure, okay.
Yeah. And then, like you said, Roman Reigns at when he's getting booed because of the super uber over push.
Yeah.
Rock come out to give him the rub. He gets you can tell by his facial expressions. He's getting a flashback to them Rocky Die days.
No, I don't think that. I think he was like, because he's been booed forever. He's kind of confused. Like, wait, what is this? I don't understand this sound. Like, what? Boo who? Boo Earns? I'm confused. Yeah. Oh, bless him.
Then he would make appearance at WrestleMania 31. Oh, with Ronda Rousey. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Against Stephanie and Triple H to try and get Ronda Rousey over.
This is when people like Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah.
But
this wasn't. But this wasn't the match. This wasn't when they had the match, right? This is where she was wearing the over 9,000 t-shirt. And,
this is when she was still in MMA. I mean, this is when she was still in UFC and she was a wrestling fan. Yeah.
And then he made fun of the New Day.
Yeah.
And then he, as you were saying, the very next WrestleMania 32 where he rock bottom Rowan.
Yeah.
And got the pin in 6 seconds.
Yeah, and got the the quickest match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah. Well, they just done it just for that, really. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. They knew what they were doing. And Rowan at that point was the guy who in the Wyatt family. He was the best one to take the tag, anyways.
And he was the only one who wasn't injured.
Yeah.
Bray was injured at that point. Yeah. I think Strowman was still. Wait, was Strowman there with him? Yeah, Strowman was still green.
Yeah.
So Rowan was the only one that made sense.
And Brody Lee. It wasn't Brody Lee. What was his name?
Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't there at this point. He was injured.
Yeah.
because he comes back later for the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt beef. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Oh.
then he last I remember he was cutting up. He was in the ring with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Kind of passing the torch to the man.
Yeah. Yep.
And and that's been, fair enough actually. By the way, oh no, sorry, my mistake. He was in the ring with Pat McAfee and Austin Theory.
Was that later?
Yeah, it's way later.
Yeah.
That was recently. That was this year.
That was like that was this year. Yeah. Oh yeah. Something like that,
Yeah, and he popped good ratings as well. So people always behind The Rock.
yeah.
Yeah. As far as his matches goes, that ended a while ago. You don't think he's gonna have another match?
Nah, like Cena was sort of explaining with him. Here, The Rock doing a match could lose millions of dollars for like everyone. So it's like, would you really risk it for something that's not going to mean anything? If that makes sense.
All right.
So it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because imagine like, okay, he has a match with Roman Reigns, and then in that match he like gets injured. So say any film he has coming up, that gets put behind, doesn't it? And then so is it really worth it?
Nah. Well, I mean, I guess that depends on how much they're going to pay him for one-off match at WrestleMania and whether he wants to do it. Because obviously, like you say, the movie money is going to be way more. But I get, if he enjoys doing it, then yeah.
So I can see Cena doing it. Like for example, like for a couple of years from now, say I'll see him doing it more than The Rock.
The Cena I can expect to make one-off or twice, 3 times a year appearances to have matches, to build for something like that. He's going to extend his career by going sporadic matches once or twice a year.
And it's going to sound really bad. I think Cena loves wrestling more than The Rock.
Well, actually, okay, I forgot to. I didn't mention it before. I didn't mention it before because I forgot about it. But after The Rock beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, at WrestleMania 19, and he was cutting the promo, he was like this, right? And this is when you look back and you go, "This not about necessarily caring more about The Rock than Cena. Like you're saying, Cena cares more about The Rock about wrestling." But Rock was like, at 30 years old. Now this is 2003, right? Because at 30 years old, Rock has done it all in the WWE, and I'm like, he's right,
Yeah. He's
young in his career, right? At that point. He's still got, if he wanted to stay, he's still got another 10 years. But he's done everything.
Yeah.
And he's even talking from Hollywood heel logic. Hollywood Rock heel logic. Yeah. He genuinely has done everything. So he doesn't need to stay there.
No.
So I was like, oh, well, that, hey.
Yeah. It's true.
I think the multiple title reigns early in his career kind of just curtailed it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, you know what? I've been a several-time champion. What more do I need to do?
Yeah, nothing.
I don't.
Nothing more for him to do.
So, hey, I mean, I like good on The Rock. Made the transition to Hollywood.
Yeah,
movies and stuff like
before he became a battered and bruised man, good on him.
Yeah, exactly. And you're saying not good on him for just playing The Rock all the time. But I'm saying that's what people pay him for, right? That's what you pay him
at first. Yeah, I don't know about now.
Yeah. But we both agree our boy Batista actually has action chops.
Yeah, he does.
While Rock, like Keanu Reeves, even though I'm a Keanu fan, is a movie star. Yeah, not an actor.
But I don't know.
Just like your boy Vin Diesel used to be an actor and he just became a movie star.
Yeah. But I want to say that about Keanu. I think Keanu, there's a point where he was, but now he's an actor again. Me personally, but
Well, I guess it depends on the movie.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my boy is super stiff.
Yeah.
And terrible in his delivery. And other times, like when he's doing John Wick and stuff, you can see it's all happening underneath,
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, I get that. But yeah.
But yes, yes. So, but yeah, no. You're saying you don't need The Rock to make any more appearances.
No. Maybe a few cameos here and there, but no, I don't need him.
As far as wrestling is concerned, you don't think he needs to. Whether he does or doesn't, right? That's a different matter. But you're saying his career is complete.
Yeah, complete.
He's 50 plus.
Yeah.
He could do 1 or 2 matches at like the next couple of WrestleManias because but I think he'd have to actually start building up for that if he's going to do it. Or they're going to be tag matches or short matches or stuff like that,
Yeah.
Fun fact, I don't know if you know, but he made an appearance for Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, at their 20th anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah. Video message for Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, which is like
which I'm like is pretty cool because they had. I wouldn't say they're necessarily key to each other's careers, but Rock is definitely key to Ken Shamrock's career.
Yeah.
For the feuds that was happening. Even though Ken Shamrock in the Impact Hall of Fame and WWE doesn't accept universes that are separate to them. However, Impact Wrestling does accept WWE's universe continuity.
90% of Impact's history has something to do with WWE because like X stars they took and
Yeah.
Like prime example, Jeff Jarrett. He's the king of TNA when you think about it. But where did he come from before that?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. And most of the stars were yeah,
exactly.
TNA was the new WCW at that point.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah.
But yes. Long and varied career of The Rock. I don't know if I think if with sufficient build for a certain match, he can come back and do some stuff. But I really don't think that he necessarily needs to.
Nah.
He could just get a card promo and beat someone up, or get beat up.
I don't think he'll get beat up with how he is nowadays. I don't think he'll do that.
Oh yeah.
But
he doesn't need to have a match. What I'm saying is, he could get beat up. He could get ambushed, come back the next week or whatever, or do a video promo to get the people back on his side and whatever. And that's it. He doesn't really need to do anything physically.
He doesn't really need to get beat up either, because what are you gaining from beating up The Rock at this point?
True. It's true. Yeah. Unless, of course, it's the bloodline beating him up and making him kneel before Roman Reigns. But really,
Yeah. They didn't even need to do that, to be fair.
By the way, I don't know if you know or you heard about it, but when Rock and Vin Diesel were having their beef, some people are thinking, all right, what's going to happen is it's a work because it's going to build to a WrestleMania tag match where Rock will team with someone and Vin Diesel will team with someone. Well, obviously the actual wrestlers will do more of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. But, it's going to sound... Could the WWE afford to pay Vin Diesel?
Well, let me put it the other way as well. Is Vin Diesel's capabilities able to make him wrestle in the ring either? So it wouldn't help. I don't think both people, both corporations. I don't know. Call Vin Diesel icon, whatever, right? I don't think they'd benefit a lot either. I'm sure you've seen Mr. T wrestle, right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. And you saw Lawrence Taylor wrestle, even though he's an athlete. He wasn't great either.
He was okay. But yeah. Bam Bam carried all that. But yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
Us boy Stephen Amell was great.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul is great.
Yeah.
But I don't think, they're physically capable, athletic people.
Yeah.
I think Vin Diesel can do certain things.
Nah, it was 20 years ago when he was in his 30s, and probably. Yeah. But both of those dudes in their 50s now. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I've seen Vin Diesel do an extended fight scene that tests his cardio, anyways. So, but anyways, that was that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is the conclusion of our look back at The Rock's career.
Yes.
Who knows? Who knew we were getting 3 parts out of this?
Who knew?
I thought we were going to conclude this in 2 parts, but because of knowing that how sporadic his appearances were going to be, I thought we were going to be. It was only going to be an hour to cover the rest of his stuff, but no, actually,
we went quite long. Forgetting that he actually did quite a lot in a short amount of time. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Strangely enough, right? So, but yeah, that's us for this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse.
Yes, sir.
I'm the man who lives in the SmackDown Hotel, Chihuai Chung.
And I am the man who became Hollywood and turned his back on the fans. But I didn't turn my back on the fans. They turned their fans. Wait, what? They turned their back on me. Yeah, because that was his promo. Well, long-winded, I got around it, though. Carl Charles. And thank you for listening to us discuss The Rock's career in the WWE, which was long and short at the same time.
Yes.
And let us know if you are a fan of the Great One and his wrestling career, or you're more of a movie fan of his. Could be one or both. Who knows? And you can let us know that by leaving us a message on the Instagram and the Twitters. Leave a comment down below in the comment section if you listen on YouTube. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And give us a review on the old podcasting app apparatus stuff. And you find all the goodness for that, like links and stuff, in our description bit. But until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse.
Bye.
Bye.